Hello, I am Demetri Betts and welcome to Don't Give Up. Today's episode is forgiveness, and I know forgiveness is such a big word, but I think it's important that you understand it and why forgiveness is so important in your life. So many of you, including myself, have been sexually abused, have been physically abused, have been lied on, have been talked about. Friends have betrayed you. Friends have walked out on you. The people you loved didn't love you back. The people you thought were real were fake. People you thought were your friends became your enemies. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All of those things I just said, I went through in my life. Now, when I was 3 years old, I was adopted by a family. And I lived with the family until I was 12 years old. At 12 years old, the government took me away from the family because I was being physically abused and I was being neglected. They weren't at home so much because they were so busy working. But I was really physically abused with marks all over my back, all kinds of things. But my whole thing, when I was in a foster home and when I was in orphanages, the only thing I could think about was getting back home, because they took me away from the family so that the family could change their life and do things better so that I can go back and live with them. So every day, all I can think about is, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. I can't wait to go home. The family would come and visit me sometimes and talk about how soon I would be home. I'd be so happy. The other kids, you know, I would tell them, I'm not like you. I'm going to be going home. So I had this joy inside of me, and all I could think about was the future of one day going back away from the orphanage, away from the foster home, and being a normal child again. Well, when I was 12 years old, my social worker came to me and said, your parents signed away their parental rights. Basically what that means is they divorced me. And I thought, how could anybody do that? I was 12 years old, and now I don't have any family. I was never going to go home. I was going to live my life in an orphanage. I carried this pain, anger, hurt for so long. I carried it for so long. And then I realized that I had to forgive them. Now, do they deserve to be forgiven? Did they do anything to be forgiven? No. See, forgiveness is not always because they deserve to be forgiven. It's really powerful when you forgive people even when they don't deserve it. And let me tell you why. When I forgave them, it released the pain. It took the burden off of my back. It took the weight off of my shoulder. I wasn't really forgiving them for them. I was forgiving them for me so that I could be free. And a lot of you right now have hurts from your father, have hurts from your mother, have hurts from your boyfriend, and you're carrying this pain and you're carrying this anger every single day. Some of you maybe even years or months. And the only way you're going to let go of this is to forgive. And that's so hard to do because you have the pain and you know they're wrong. But until you forgive them, you will continue to carry this pain and anger and hate. I know some people who carry it for 20, 30 years. Do you want to be unhappy for 20 or 30 years? Because someone hurt you? Because someone did you wrong? You got to forgive them. You have to say, I forgive you. It doesn't mean you need to tell them, I forgive you. You need to do it in your heart. Maybe some of you should say, I forgive you. I don't know. But if you feel like you should tell them, say, you know what? I forgive you. That's the past. I'm moving forward. Because until you forgive them, you're going to carry that pain. You're going to carry it on, and it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper wounds. I know that you have been hurt. I have been hurt. But forgiveness is powerful. Forgiveness is more powerful than the hurt they put on you. It's not a weak thing to do. It's a strong thing to do. To forgive. There was this boy who always would steal his father's car at night and go out and see his friends. Well, his father caught him one time and he said, listen, if you do this again, I am going to really punish you. I'm going to take away all of your privileges. You're not going to see your friends anymore. None of this stuff's going to happen. You're going to be really grounded. Well, the boy, he stole his father's car again. And he wrecked the car. It was demolished. So 3 o'clock in the morning, this boy's father gets a call from the police. Your 14-year-old son has stolen your car, and you need to come get him. Now, this boy was horrified the whole time, because not only did he wreck his father's BMW, but he was sitting in the police station and he had taken the car, which he was told not to take. So imagine him waiting for his father to come. His father walks through the door. He sees his father talking to the police officer. The father walks over to him and he says, "Son, stand up." The boy, as nervous as he could, he stands up. The father takes his arm, puts it around him and said, "I love you. I'm glad you're safe." The father never mentioned about the car accident. The father never mentioned about the boy still in the car. The boy wasn't punished. The father had forgiven the son. He forgave him. And that was so powerful that the boy had more respect for his father than ever. And of course, he never stole a car again. Because that love, that forgiveness was so powerful. It overshadowed the pain, the hurt. You can take control over the situation. The situation has been controlling you. It's put you down. It's made you depressed. It's made you sad. It made you start drugs, sleeping with the wrong people. Forgive. Not for them, but forgive for you. And some of you, including myself, I've hurt people. And I've had to ask forgiveness. I remember one time there was a boy, and I still can't even remember. I don't even know totally what I did, really. But all I knew is that I hurt him. And I came to him and I said, "Will you please forgive me? Please forgive me." And he said, "No, Demetri, I will never forgive you for what you have done." And that hurt me so bad. But I felt a release, because I did what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to ask for forgiveness. Now it was his job. It was his responsibility. Did he want to carry the anger? Did he want to carry the hurt? He could say, "I forgive you," and he could have been released. But he didn't. Maybe even today he still carries the hurt that I hurt him. And all he has to do is let it go. Maybe some of you have hurt people, and you are feeling bad and you are feeling down because you've hurt people. Ask for forgiveness. And if you can't do it on a piece of paper, then do it on a phone call. And if you can't do it that way, then do it in your heart. I want you to know that you can be free. There's no one like you in this world. There'll be no one like you again. Come here. You are special and you are loved. I love you so much, and that love will only grow stronger. Until next time.